Hello everyone, I'm back. It's been about 5, 6, 7, 8 years since I've uploaded, but I thought I'd make a video on a game that I love, and that is Diablo 4. As you can see, I'm wearing the merch. I've got a Mephisto plushie behind the camera. I'm not one of those Hello Kitty boys, so don't even go to that level. But welcome back. This is basically a follow-up to my last video that I made about Vessel of Hatred and why I'm excited for it. So Blizzard recently released a live-action trailer for the new expansion, and it's just the same thing that we've seen before. It's just showing off the Spiritborn just with live actors, basically. But the things that I want to touch upon is my actual plan for when the season comes out. So if you know me either online or in person, you know that I sweat out Diablo 4. Even this past season, the Infernal Horde season, I've made 9 characters to level 100. And probably the best highlights that I've used from them is my Andoriel's Poison Barrage Rogue, who was really OP, my Landslide Druid, who's really OP, my Whirlwind Twister Barbarian, which was fun. It wasn't the best for bossing, but it was really fun for getting to 100 because you could just spin and do the old D3 spin to win kind of build, which I really love. I'm starting to really love the Barbarians. Even recently, I've been playing Diablo 3 a little bit more and playing with Barbarians on that as well. I'm really a big fan of barbarians in Diablo 4, so I think that's where I'm gonna gravitate towards when the new season starts. Obviously, my plan to start with is I'm gonna play the campaign section first because I actually really like the campaign of Diablo 4. And I know a lot of people were saying that the campaign is kind of a mixed bag compared to Diablo 3. I think Diablo 4's is slightly better in terms of the actual pacing of the story because Diablo 3's was more like, okay, you find Tyrael, then everything kicks off, and all the bosses talk shit to you, and that's it. But with Diablo 4, it's more like it's got this gritty Diablo 2 approach where it's all like fucking disgusting, grotesque, grimy stuff happening. Mephisto and Lilith are plotting against you. Obviously, we've defeated Lilith, but like I said in my last video, is she really dead? Obviously, we're gonna face Mephisto in this season. Um, I hope he actually is a boss in this season. He's not just one of those lingering things. Like, how long did it take for us to kill Diablo in Diablo 3? It took us way too long because he just kept appearing in different forms and just mocking us. So, I hope we actually get to fight Mephisto, similar to how we fought him in D2, where he's just in a room somewhere and it's you and him, and you just smack the shit out of him. Obviously, it's Diablo 4, so there is going to be a whole different mechanic to it. Maybe it's a big boss arena like always, but as long as I can kill Mephisto or at least like weaken him for a future expansion, then that's all I care about. Um, so I'm gonna play the campaign first, and then once I've done the campaign, I'm gonna move on to the seasonal content, obviously. And you'd be pretty stupid if you think I'm not gonna play the Spiritborn at least once. So I'm gonna start with the Spiritborn. Excuse me. I'm not gonna edit that out, so bear with me. But I'm gonna play the Spiritborn first, just to see how they feel, see if I like the class, get to level 100 with them as quickly as possible. Because I feel like they're gonna be good for speed farming because they remind me of a rogue. So maybe they have the same pacing as a rogue. It just depends what kind of build you play, obviously, because it's more like melee based rather than ranged. So it'd be like if Twisted Blades Rogue in season 1 actually had the buffs that could be applied to this season, if that makes sense. So I'm going to play the Spiritborn, and then with the Spiritborn, I'm going to test out the new mercenaries that they're going to be adding. So if you didn't know, they're going to be adding, I think, 4 mercenaries to your game, which are basically like the ones in Diablo 3, where they kind of just buff you a little bit. Or it might be D2, I don't know which one I'm thinking of, but I know Blizzard have acknowledged that they're not going to make the mercenaries on the same level as you. They're going to be more like support roles. So, for example, one of them can give you like extra resistances and extra armor, or maybe buffs to crit damage and crit attack chance. Maybe attack speed and armor, that kind of thing. So it'd be like having a support role as you're the main character playing through the game, which I think is really fun. And they're coming with their own skill trees and their own synergies. So the amount of what's the word, like theory crafting for builds is going to be out of this world. So I think it's going to be really good for a lot of theory crafters out there who love to test different builds and try different things out. So if you're one of those guys, you're going to have a great time. I think they're going to be a great, good addition. My only worry is balancing them might be an issue, but just depends on how powerful Blizzard make them. Because obviously, we as a community are going to find the most broken builds. Like I remember when Overpower was broken in season 4 for the Necro, so you just went Necro, or when Thorns was broken, so you just played a Thorns Barbarian with the Razor Plate unique that went for like 20 billion gold on the market. So hopefully they can find a way to fix that. Obviously, it's hard to balance a game like this because you have so many classes and so many skills and synergies and calculations that go into the game. So it's gonna be hard to balance it on day one. Obviously, I would imagine that we're gonna get a day one patch, just to fix some minor bugs. Because I feel like when we get to the season, there's probably gonna be some server issues, or maybe there's gonna be some sort of bug with story completion or with the characters themselves. I don't understand why Blizzard aren't making a rebirth system for the characters. So if you didn't know, in Diablo 3, if you had a character that you maxed out and didn't want to use anymore, or wanted to use for another season, you could rebirth them. So they would have the same like stats and like time played on them. They'd just be reset to level 1, and you can go through the whole thing again. So you don't have to keep making new characters. You can just go on the same character with the same look and the same playtime, and just rinse and repeat for every season. So I hope they do that because I'm so sick of deleting characters. Like, having 12 characters as a maximum on a live service ARPG game that's about collecting loot and trying different builds out. Honestly, there's no point. Like, I'm not even a fan of people who will get a character to level 100, then swap builds. Because what's the point? Because once you get to 100, you've got nothing to do. I mean, yeah, you can try the endgame content like the Infernal Horde and the Dark Citadel that's coming, which I've just found out is co-op only. And for someone who plays mostly solo, I don't know. I mean, they are adding a looking for group system, so maybe it's going to balance it out, but I don't even know. Like, I've made a few friends playing Diablo 4 for the trading systems and just helping out with boss fights, and I've actually got quite a few people who always greet me with respect whenever I log on. So maybe it's the same thing for this event. Maybe I'll have people who want to do it with me, or at least want to level with me. I know some people have asked me if I'm going to be leveling on day one, when the season comes out. I'm not, mainly because I'm working, but the day after and like the few days after, I will be absolutely fine to play. So I'm going to go for that. But overall, I'm just excited for the season. I hope that with the Spiritborn, I imagine we're going to get new unique items, maybe new mythics down the line. Because farming for mythics is really fun until you get all of them. Like, on my rogue, I can show you my stash tab. I have so many mythic uniques that even if I salvage them, I don't really need them. I guess I can salvage to try and get greater affixes on them to get better stats for my builds. But the season ends in literally like just under a week, so there's really no point in me doing that. You know what I mean? But overall, I'm always excited to try out the new season in Diablo. I've been there since day one of Diablo 4. I went through the pain of season 1 and season 2, and to see where the game's going now, really a big fan. It reminds me a lot of D3 with, I don't know how to explain it, but even when I get the same uniques from like a nightmare dungeon or a boss, it's always like the thrill of maybe this would be the one that I need for my build. So like, for example, when I tried to level my sorceress to level 100 to go to a lightning spear build, I couldn't get the fractured Winterglass amulet, which if you have played Diablo 4 this season, it's kind of a necessity. It's really hard to play the build without it. I got lucky and someone just gave it to me for free. But the amount of people that spent so long trying to get one, I remember on my first ever sorceress, it took me to level 100 to even get one, and I was playing Frozen Orb. So you know, it's just one of those things. But I don't know. Overall, I just wanted to give you a little summary of like the things that I'm planning to do on this season. So if you have any recommendations for things that I should be doing when the season comes out, or you want to see any more content from me, let me know in the comments. I'm probably going to upload a lot more now, just because I'm kind of getting back into the feel of like recording, streaming. I've got a bunch of videos recorded already that I'm thinking of putting out, but if you want to see anything specific, please let me know. But until next time, thank you for watching. Uh, my black hair looks really weird on camera, so you have to just leave that be. But thank you for watching. If you're new around here, subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys. If not before the start of the season, I will see you then. So.